Good day, viewers. Welcome back to the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio. That is I. For years, we have been told that we who identify as unbelievers, atheists, agnostics, and secular humanists have no hope. In fact, the Bible talks about believers' hope in the hereafter. Their hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. The old hymn says that we used to sing years ago in church. I'm here to say that we, as unbelievers, do have hope. I, as a secular humanist, an atheist, agnostic, I, as a preaching humanist, I do have hope, and I remain optimistic, contrary to what the Bible says in the New Testament. Do not be, O believers, like unbelievers who have no hope. My affirmation is to make a better world, not a perfect world, but a better world through humanist principles. That is my hope. Now, I am not preaching a utopia. Well, Mr. Atheist Preacher, you sound like you used to be when you were a young Christian preacher, talking about the hereafter, talking about making perfection or a utopia. No. I'm talking about making a better world, not a perfect world, through humanist principles. My hope is to have a world free from poverty, where all humans can live above the poverty line and have respectable wages, where they can have happy lives. My hope is to live in a world that is free from disease. And yes, medical science has progressed and eliminated and eradicated many diseases, and we can only progress and have hope to eliminate them all in the future. My hope is to live in a world free from discrimination. That includes racial discrimination, gender discrimination, atheist discrimination, all forms of religious discrimination, where all people are valued and respected. My hope is to live in a world that is free from hatred, but rather love. This concept of love we hear all the time. God is love. And the love that you have, Mr. Atheist, I hear this often, comes from God. No, we promote real love, human love. My hope is to live in a world that is free from all authoritarianism, where government officials and leaders control and manipulate and use their power and their position to push their ideology rather than for all, where they promote good for only their group, rather than a pluralistic democracy. That's what I hope for, where leaders lead by example, where leadership lead by ethics and morals and compassion rather than might. My hope is to live in a world free from divisive ideologies. Any ideology, any belief system that divides, but rather unity. I hope for a world of unity and unitedness. And I can only hope that one day, as a human species, we would actually promote globalization. My country is the world, and my race is human. My hope as an unbeliever is to live in a world free from war and destruction, but rather peace. Peace for all. I, as an unbeliever, hope for the advancement of science, not religion. Why do I have hope in science? It's not perfect, but it's better. Science works. Science has advanced the human species and made things better for all. I hope Yes, I do have hope and optimism for the advancement of education above military might. I hope for a world where education, intellectualism, intelligence, and knowledge is valued rather than faith. In this country of the United States, to be elected as a government official, they almost always have to talk about their faith. Why is that? Because faith is valued. I value education and knowledge and facts and reason, not people's opinions and feelings. A world where we value ethics, morals, people who are driven by compassion. I can hope for a world where we value experts in their fields. Yes, experts. They know more than you and I know. They're not perfect, but they know some things. I hope for a just world, a fair world, a morally right and free world, driven by humanist ethics, which far surpass religious morals and ethics. Again, I am not promoting utopia, but a better world. I have used a quote for years in my speaking and on my public Preaching Humanist show on YouTube. And I will say it now and I will end with this, that no God belief is required, is needed for a life of love, a life of joy, a life of peace, a life of, yes, hope. We do have hope. A life of kindness, compassion, a life of empathy, a life of caring, a life of morals and ethics. The good life, yes, the good life is guided by reason, not faith. The good life is informed by science, not religion. The good life is motivated by human love, is motivated and driven by human compassion, not motivated and driven by an invisible spirit in the sky. My encouragement and my word to my fellow unbelievers, rather than arguing all the time with believers, let's let them know that we do have hope. Our hope is based here, not on the hereafter. Our hope is based here in this present place we call planet Earth. We must roll up our sleeves and apply humanist principles to make the world a better place. That is my hope. And I will tell everybody that I can. And I only hope that you can too. To look at the optimistic side, the positive side, the hopeful side of this beautiful worldview of secular humanism. So remember, my friends, to let the light, let the love, let the compassion, and let the hope, yes, the hope of secular humanism shine. Have a wonderful day.
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
No, you're done.